All right, today we're digging into one of history's greatest cold cases. We're talking about a civilization of 1 million people that seemingly just vanished from the face of the earth.
I mean, that sounds like a myth, doesn't it? But this wasn't Atlantis. No, for the people of the Indus Valley, this was very, very real. Their entire world was forgotten for millennia. So the real questions are, how did they disappear? And what secrets did they take to the grave? Okay, so first, let's just get a sense of the sheer scale we're talking about. The Indus Valley Civilization wasn't just old, it was basically a global superpower of its time. I mean, while pharaohs were building the Great Pyramid of Giza over in Egypt, the city of Mohenjo-Daro was already a massive, bustling metropolis. Then, around 1900 BCE, things start to go downhill, and for the next 4,000 years, there's just silence. Until this incredible accidental rediscovery in the 1920s. So you've got to be asking yourself, how does an empire this significant get completely wiped from the history books? Well, that brings us to our first section, a forgotten empire.
What's just incredible here is that, unlike Rome or Athens, whose ruins were always kind of part of the landscape, the Indus Valley Civilization was completely lost. I mean, buried and forgotten. Its memory just faded into myth. That is, until some railroad workers in the 1920s literally stumbled upon these strange, ancient bricks, and with that, they had unknowingly uncovered the edge of a lost world.
And the scale of what they uncovered? It was absolutely staggering. At its peak, the Indus Valley Civilization spanned over 700,000 square miles. To put that into perspective, that made it the largest and most widespread civilization of the ancient world, bigger than ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia combined. But here's the thing. They didn't leave behind giant pyramids or massive statues of kings. So how do we know anything about them? Well, investigators had to look a lot closer, and they started finding the story hidden in the little details, right in the bricks themselves. And these clues, they point to a society that was shockingly modern. Their cities? They were built on these really precise grids, using standardized oven-fired bricks. But the most incredible feature, the real showstopper, was their sanitation. I mean, they engineered covered drains and private bathrooms that were actually connected to a city-wide sewer system. This level of sophisticated urban planning, it wouldn't be seen again for thousands of years. It's just wild.
To really understand just how different they were, let's compare Mohenjo-Daro to a Mesopotamian city from the same time, like Ur. Ur was basically a maze of winding streets, and everything was dominated by a massive palace for its king. Mohenjo-Daro, on the other hand, had that organized grid and at its center, a huge public bath. That tells you something, right? It suggests a society focused way less on powerful rulers and way more on community and public well-being. And all of this really points to the idea of what we call an egalitarian society. And what does that mean? Well, archaeologists haven't found any of the usual stuff. No grand palaces, no super lavish royal tombs. In fact, even the biggest houses they found are only about twice the size of the smallest ones. All the evidence seems to suggest a society with a much flatter power structure than Egypt or Mesopotamia, a society that just wasn't interested in building monuments to powerful individuals. And their influence? Oh, it was incredibly widespread. Archaeologists have found these small, beautifully carved stone seals, and not just in the Indus Valley. They found them hundreds of miles away in Mesopotamia. These were most likely used to stamp goods for trade, which is just solid proof of a really complex and far-reaching trade network.
Okay, but for all we know about how they lived, two absolutely massive questions still hang in the air. And this brings us right to the heart of the story, the great unsolved mystery.
So, the first part of this mystery is their language. Now, the Indus people could write. We know that. We have hundreds of examples of their script on all these seals and pottery. But it's a 4,000-year-old secret because to this day, no one has been able to decipher it.
This quote really captures the frustration perfectly. I mean, just think about it. We have a civilization that is literate, but we don't know what they were saying. We're looking at this incredibly complex society, but their voice is completely silent to us. We don't know their names for their own cities, their kings, their gods. We don't know any of their stories.
So, what happens when a civilization's voice is just lost to time? It means we have to piece together their entire existence from objects alone, without their own words to guide us. It's almost like trying to understand a movie with no sound and no subtitles. And this brings us to the biggest mystery of all. Where did they go? Right now, two main theories dominate the investigation. The leading suspect today? Climate change.
There's a lot of evidence that suggests shifting monsoon patterns dried up the rivers that were their absolute lifeblood. The other theory is invasion by migrating tribes, but honestly, there's very little archaeological evidence for some big violent conquest. So their disappearance might have been less of a sudden bang and more of a slow fade.
So, let's recap. We have a lost people, a forgotten language, and a disappearance that's still unsolved. You might be wondering, why does this ancient puzzle matter to us now? Well, let's explore their echoes today.
You know, the echoes of the Indus Valley Civilization are surprisingly modern. Their cities? They actually provide lessons in sustainable urban design. Their collapse is a pretty stark cautionary tale about how vulnerable societies can be to climate change. And their entire story? It's just a humbling reminder that even the greatest societies are fragile, and that so much of our own past is still a total mystery.
It really is the ultimate paradox, isn't it? Here was a civilization that mastered water, trade, and city planning 4,000 years ago. They were incredible at solving some of the most complex challenges of their time, and yet they disappeared. They just vanished, leaving behind their silent, perfectly orderly cities.
And it leaves us with one final, pretty haunting question to think about. Thousands of years from now, what will future archaeologists find of us? What clues will we leave behind? And what great unsolved mystery will we become?